Okay, so good morning, Ms. Stark. First, we would like to thank you for giving us this opportunity, for giving the European students an opportunity to meet you and to ask you some questions. So our first question would be, how are currently the negotiations between the Commission and the Parliament regarding the new proposal? We've seen in the Education, Training and Youth Forum, which the Commission organized a few weeks ago in Brussels, that they keep on only presenting their proposal. And yesterday we had the European Commission in one public hearing with us, and they still always presenting only their proposal, and they don't mention the changes which the Parliament are proposing. So could you maybe tell us, or maybe the young people at home, how are the negotiations going?
The Commission has put his proposal on the table of the Parliament, and the parliamentarians are working with it. And we have changed it heavily. And it is clear that the Commission will not show you what we did, because I didn't do it. But on the way to change it, we have very good contact with the staff of the Commission, and I think we have reached a high consensus. But anyway, before we have not, decided in the committee, I will not speak on our proposals. That is understandable.
Okay, so another question would be, we've been hearing that the member states are generally thinking of cutting in education and youth once again, so we are very concerned about the fact that now in the meeting of the Council at the end of November, it will be one of the things which they will decide will be directly to cut education and youth again. So how is the European Parliament and the European Commission thinking of convincing? What are the arguments that...
I think the arguments are so obvious that we have not to repeat it, but I have not heard that they want to cut education. Who told you this? They are speaking on the total amount which is foreseen for the budget for the European Union, but they did not mention education at all. So I think it is up to the Commission and to the Council and up to the Parliament to find, in the money which will be foreseen, a big part, big part. It is always a small part, but the part which we need to bring at least empowerment of the youth, employability, what everybody wants with 2020. Yeah? I think nobody has told until now that they will cut education. That is not true, and I think it's better not to say this, because it is a self-fulfilling prophecy what you are doing.
Okay, so my question is, so recently youth NGOs have actually proven that they provide a lot of non-formal education which does increase the employability of young people. For example, there was a study by the European Forum, and but this is very often not really recognized by employers, but also by institutions. And what can we do, or what can concretely be done to improve the recognition of the work of youth organizations?
That's what we are trying to do for a long time. I have, in the mid-90s, I have invented together with some of my colleagues the European Voluntary Service, which is something which is a great achievement. I just met in Berlin 400 people, German people, who have just finished their service last year, and I had the impression that it's really something which is, it's a cornerstone in their different lives. So I think this is great, and we discussed this problem of recognition. When we organized, in the mid of the 2000s, we organized the Youth Pass, which exists. I asked the Commission and the Council to include in this Youth Pass, which is only giving the formal education results. I try to introduce the non-formal achievement. So if you have done a voluntary service or something like this, it was not possible. But now I have seen the Youth Pass, not the Euro Pass. I spoke. It was the Euro Pass I spoke. It was in the mid-90s, mid-2000s. But now there is a Youth Pass, which is speaking only on these non-formal things. It's okay, but I think if we are dividing the Euro Pass with the formal achievements and the Youth Pass with the non-formal one, I think it is an artificial division. We should come to the situation which we see which is in America. If you in America are applying for a job, they are asking you, what did you do for your country? So I think this should be also in the mind of the employees to ask, did this person did something more than only going to school? I think this is important, but to change the awareness and the mind of employers, it is difficult, and you should make a wake-up call wherever you are to make this really as an important change in the climate of our society. This is a question of the society, and as I have seen these people who have been with the European Volunteer Service outside, they tell me it's incredible what I have achieved from my personal life, from my skills. So I think it is, as you said, non-formal is really needed to in the world where these skills are more and more needed in communication, in team working, and so on. And for example, also language learning, which you can do if you are in another country.
Yeah.
That's our side also. I mean, that's something we work on a lot.
Yeah.
We just don't know how to reach, like to change the mentalities, because it's not something you can do like this.
Yeah.
The next question was, because yesterday the European Commission also mentioned the fact that now in the negotiations, the Council is not so in favor of granting these administrative grants or financial support for youth organizations, and this is quite an important topic for us, because as we said, we are non-formal education providers, skill providers, and the fact that this financial or administrative support for us is in risk might mean that many organizations will stop doing this work, which sometimes institutions fail to do. So we've seen that the Parliament really supports this financial support, administration grants. So how is the...
I think, as you have seen, we have taken over these ideas, because we know if you would not exist, all these organizations, we have to invent it. And the agencies of the Commission cannot do what you are doing. So I think your work on the field is very important, and I think we try to fight for this, and we have, I think my proposals will go in this direction.
The last question, but actually very well connected to something you already mentioned, because it's about non-formal education. AEGEE is very much involved in, as I just mentioned, in this. We were involved in the European Year of Volunteering in 2011, created a document with recommendation on why we should recommend non-formal education. More in general, we would be curious to know what the European Parliament could do to increase recognition of non-formal education. If there's
To increase what?
The recognition of non-formal education or education.
I will do what we can as this program.
This program is the main tool, right?
Yeah, that is the only tool we have. We can also use for the how to say, for education and youth. This is the only program. But if people are older, then we can also use the social fund or the labor market for people who have to refresh or to find another job and getting a new skills via new formation. So that is going via the social fund, and it's no longer in this program. But I think we are very in a frame which is very small, because of the fact that youth, education, culture, these are fields which are really national or regional fields, and we can only give some added value to this, and therefore we need the money. Once again, the circle is the same.
Yeah. So Mrs. Park, we really wanted to thank you for this opportunity, and we really hope that you will find an agreement with the Commission, and that the Council will really understand the importance of this investment.
And what did you say to my proposal of the name of this program? You did not mention it. Yes, Euro. How is it?
We
like it a lot better.
Tell it. You know that the Commissioner doesn't like it.
No, we appreciate it very much, because the fact that Erasmus for all is actually not for all. So.
It's not for all, and I think everybody knows it, and therefore it is a false signal. And yes, Europe is, in this time of crisis, the best signal ever. So, and it is youth education, it's not great. If you want to to split it. But I think yes, it's in itself very important. So and even you can even find in Germany we could say Jugend, Erziehung und Sport, and so you can even translate it if you want it. But I think it's not necessary.
No,
if you want to translate it, you can say youth, education, and sport. So everything is in, and youth at the beginning. So I think we have found really, and it was not me. I take it from somebody. I don't know. I was in a lot of meetings, and it was, I think, an organization which I met here in Brussels. They told me, Mrs. Park, do you think we could not say yes? And at the end I said, it's great, yes, yes, and then yes, Europe, because yes exists in another organization. So I said, yes, Europe, and I think it will be understood. I think this is really lifelong learning was a little bit too long and too heavy, and it is a little bit a threat, you know, if you say lifelong learning, it's threatening you, you know. So I am a former teacher, so I had this impression that we were perhaps making people afraid. So, but if you say yes, Europe, I think it is fresh and it.
And what's the reaction of the Commission?
The Commission, no, the Commission. They like Erasmus for all, but at least the Commissioner likes it. But I think the Parliament will be in favor of all this. And,
it's very young and very
yes,
fresh.
It's very young and very fresh. And why not taking this? Because the Commissioner likes it. I don't think that we are here to please the Commissioner. We are here to please the youth. And I think yes is good. Yes. Okay.
So thank you very much. If there's anything that we as AEGEE can do to help
you can make a wake-up call for all your people in the different nations. Here in Brussels, you have not to convince anybody. You have to convince the finance minister, the youth minister, your president, prime minister, that they give the money. And for me, it doesn't matter where they find this money. I hope that they will give enough money for all what we have to do in the European Union, because they are burdening us with new measures, with new demands, and at the end they don't give the money. It's a bit strange, huh? So, but it doesn't matter where they find the money. If they find it perhaps in the structural funds, or if they find it in the agriculture, we can find it somewhere, because it is really a small amount compared with the money we are giving. Rightly giving via structural funds. I think it would, for example, it would be good also to find perhaps some money because that is a use which is really everywhere. It is tackled by structural problems, infrastructural problems, but if the youth has not been skilled to use what we are doing via infrastructure, yeah, we can forget it. I think everybody should know it. And on Sunday, in speeches, they all know it, you know. But on Monday, they forget what they said on Sunday. And they are not giving the money. But I try, we are trying our best, and I can tell you that the budget committee in this house is really aware of the need. 15, 20 years ago, it was not like this. But now everybody is aware that without education, you can forget the future. Okay, do your best.
Thank you.
Do our best.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.